fickle. They're fickle.
Yo, 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 what's poppin'? All my peeps, it is I, your host of the most Renaissance man, who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back once again in the Yard of Streams for another edition of Pitts and Sara's wrestling show, where we take no nights off. And it's not just me, Patty P, here in the Yard of Streams. I'm joined, as always, by the best of the West. You can't forget about Sara Marshall. What's popping, girl?
Hey, yo.
Hello. Hello.
What's going on? How we doing on this fine-ass Thursday?
It was 112 today.
All right. All
It was
right.
supposed to be 115. So
Okay. So you're in real triple digits. Yeah, that's what we call a no bueno.
yeah.
Did reach 100 here for the first time this year, and for the first time in 13 weekends, Sara, there is no rain in the forecast.
Jelly.
We are going.
I want rain.
I know. Let's send it your way because I'm sick of it. I want the sun. I want to go out and explore the beautiful world that is. All right. We got a big party on Sunday celebrating my dad's restaurant. It's the 50th anniversary of the establishment. Worked there for 15 years, so I'm excited to go do that. And yeah, I just want good weather for it, because you don't want to have a party outside in the pouring rain, Sara.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually one time where we had the first ever. It was called Pitsy Palooza. So we called our summer party. Everyone has a summer barbecue. We had Pitsy Palooza. And the first one ever, we got a margarita machine and like lawn games and stuff. So it rains, and everyone ended up having to huddle underneath the tent that had the margarita machine. So it was a very tight crowd. And we ended the night with me fake playing Guitar Hero, like playing Guitar Hero guitar, but like to music. It was fun. A lot of fun. But yeah, bring back Pitsy Palooza. That is a dream of mine. At some point, we'll go down. But yeah, lot to talk about today on the No Nights Off Super Show with WWE, WWE NXT, and AEW was in Mexico last night, which I watched. And I have some likes and dislikes from the show that we will obviously discuss, and the other sort of nonsense that goes down on the show. So yeah, that's what we got. We got some comments. Let's hear from the peeps. Sophia asks me how long I've been doing my personal training. I think since like October, maybe last year, maybe November. I did kind of fuck up my shoulder earlier in the year and last year, or later last year, whatever. And I had to stop for like a month and a half, 2 months. That sucked. Trying to rehab that. So it has been a while. I'm at least down 30 pounds. Have to be. I saw a picture of when I first started the weight loss journey, and boy, howdy, was I a house. Oh my God, just full of jelly. And I took a picture yesterday, and we're not there. I'm not content. I'm happy with the progress we have made, but there's still so much work to do. The goal is to try to be down to 170 by my buddy's wedding, my best friend's wedding in September. All right. So who knows? Sarah, we're going to try. So we're going to try for that. I recommend personal training to anybody if you can afford it. It's life-changing. Nathaniel, do you think Drake May will win our Patriots the Super Bowl?
I hope eventually.
That would be nice. That would be nice. You're more the Patriot person. Do we see Lyra turn heel? Yeah. No.
Yeah, probably not.
It's more just angry babyface. Just an
Yeah.
angry good guy who feels like they're not getting the respect they deserve, which
Yeah.
obviously you could say, well, isn't that no, because
No, I think she'll like be
haven't done-
kind of upset about like Bailey kind of stepping over her to get to Becky when she knows that they're in the middle of something. I feel like
Correct. Yeah.
that's as far as we're gonna get with her.
Yeah. It's gonna stay in that triangle of Lyra, Becky, and Bailey for sure. I mean, at this point, with Evolution's card being up in the air after Liv Morgan's injury, why not throw Lyra, Bailey, and Becky in a triple threat? You know, it just makes the most sense.
Hey, I said it first.
We did.
If it comes true, you know where to go. You know where to go.
You know where to find us. Growing every day. Hit that subscribe button. Forgot to say it before peeps. But what's up, David? To you, loyal ass David. Love it. He's someone we love. And we're talking about wrestling. So let's talk about more things that we love.
Don't be a lemon. Be a rosebud.
And hate. Things that we love and hate. It is time for the lemons and rosebuds of the week. Can be anything in the Wrestleverse, from something we saw on a show or something we heard on a podcast. Sarah, hit us with what your rosebud of the week is.
So I wasn't aware that Pat McAfee wasn't going to be on commentary again this week. And this week we got Corey Graves instead of Wade Barrett.
Mhm.
And so I was excited because I've made it clear that I do not like Pat McAfee's commentary. So
Very true.
yeah. So I was excited, and I'm seeing a lot more people join the bandwagon, which I was a little bit surprised about, because I feel like obviously Pat is in WWE because of the brand that he's made with his show and the podcast and whatever. And that has grown beyond people who just watch sports and want to hear what he has to say, because obviously on the Pat McAfee show, they talk about things other than sports too. So he's created a fan base for himself within wrestling. And so a lot of people have loved him, and they're like, oh my God, I love his commentary. I love that he gets in the ring, blah, blah, blah. But I think he's been getting a lot more flack for his current run on commentary. Like, I've seen a lot more people talking negatively about how he started versus like where he's at now, because it does feel like there's quite a big difference. And I saw it on TikTok where a lot of people were like, oh my God, Graves is so good on commentary. Like, I wish that he was back on Raw. One girl was saying that, Michael Cole and McAfee are good, but like basically all they do is fuck around the whole time. And so it's like, that could be like super distracting when you're like trying to watch a match, or you're listening and then you're hearing McAfee, like he doesn't stop talking. Like he's not okay with the silence that is okay in wrestling. When someone's making their entrance, it's fine.
Yeah,
you don't have to be talking while it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I guess I was like, it was interesting to me to see people gravitate towards Graves after what has been happening with him since he got moved from Raw to NXT and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then backing away from McAfee. Like, this is not something that I was thinking that was going to happen at any point.
It's sad to me because I love McAfee and I love when he's on like that. He reminds me of a more appropriate Jerry Lawler. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Jerry
but
Lawler was more, obscene with the, puppies and those type of comments, where McAfee feels like he's one of your buddies hanging out in the basement reacting to a sports play.
and see,
And
like,
that's what I like about this era. It feels
and I'm
like we're
the
getting more of those
opposite.
fans.
I like people to like, I think it's because I'm so used to watching wrestling like by myself, or
Exactly.
that I get into a headspace where I'm like, shut up. Like, I just want to listen.
You want to hear everything. You want to
And
hear it all.
I don't mind like talking about things and whatever, obviously, but I think that like you can, and I can kind of tune out McAfee. It's just, I think that there's just like the subtle things that are annoying. Like I said, when he just won't stop talking when someone's coming out. Or it's like he'll talk over people as they're cutting a promo. And I'm just like, bro, like, it's just these like little things that is like, stop, just stop.
It's like the unwritten rules of like wrestling fans, not WWE. And that's like one thing. Yeah, exactly. Lost my
Yeah.
train.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do because I'm not really sure why McAfee hasn't been around or, um, Graves apparently is in better standing now with the company than he was a few months ago when he was like trying to make it this like big controversy. And even I was defending Pat in that moment because I'm like, when we're talking about star power, like, yeah, they're not gonna boot McAfee off of commentary for you, Graves. Like they're
Well,
not.
that's it's their relation. It's the Michael Cole Pat McAfee
Yeah.
relationship
Well, and
that's been
Netflix.
that too.
That's it.
But you know what the thing with with their relationship is that it brings back the nostalgia of I'll start with Monsoon and Heenan, those 80s wrestling fans who remember those two on commentary. JR and King, you remember those two on commentary, at least like that fan.
Mhm.
That's this era's, and you're right. It is not, it's a different type of commentary that you're getting because it feels like it's two buddies doing commentary instead of two commentators.
Well, and I've talked about it how like I don't love it. I
Mhm.
have a very like a lot of my brain when it comes to wrestling is I tend to like the older stuff. Like I tend to like old school ways of going about things. Like why do you think I like Gunther? It's like because he's such a classic wrestler, So I don't like I don't love
Mm.
seeing McAfee and Cole yeeting and stuff. Like it's like it just at a certain point it just becomes kind of old. So it'll be interesting to see how WWE goes about this in the future. I assume that if McAfee ever has to be out again, we'll see Graves. I mean, he'll be out obviously for football season. So I wonder if maybe Graves will for sure take
That's
that
and
over.
that's the thing that Graves needs to realize, that like McAfee is not there to be the next Jerry Lawler. Like he's
No,
not like
that's not his plan.
that's not his plan. That's not what the WWE wants. That's not what he wants. What they want is to bring that feeling back. They want to bring that feeling of those buddy commentators back. And we live in a world now where that wrestling is given to us, and you also can have the more Corey Graves and Michael Cole style of commentary. Sarah, I really think you would like New Japan, like that style of wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
like what Dante Toro's doing with his channel. Just going back and watching those.
Mm-hmm.
The way you watch wrestling, I feel like that would be your thing. Like, I've been trying to get you to watch AEW and all that. No, like, fuck that. Go straight to New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
We should do a watch along of Okada Omega.
Okay.
That would, because have you ever seen that match in full?
No, I've never seen it in general.
Okay. I've only seen the first match of their 4 that they've had, because 5, it'll be their 5th first on American soil.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen the first one, and it legitimately changed how I watch wrestling forever. So we should definitely do like a watch along of that of some sorts. My Rosebud is kind of sticking on that style Omega All Elite Wrestling. The promo from Hangman last night in Spanish was incredible.
Yeah, that's pretty
Alright.
cool.
Like the fact that he went out there, did had the promo in Spanish fluently, and it was muy bien. As someone who speaks Spanish at work daily, and you're constantly hearing Spanglish, whether it is at the legit fish pier, if it's in a kitchen, at a restaurant in town, it's some sort of Spanglish. That wasn't Spanglish at all. That was fluent, everything. It was great and fantastic. And it brings another kind of reaction to the crowd. It gives them another reaction where they actually feel like they're listening to it in their own language, and they can connect a little bit more, which I love that element too. The crowd was fired up, and it plays into my point of last week of, could Hangman really be the hero of AEW? So.
Well, it's even more I don't even know the word to use, but with the current climate going on, it's even more interesting. I don't know the correct term I want to use, but like the timing of Hangman doing that is really cool. It's like it's not the same, but kind of like Joe Hendry was just in Mexico and he changed his theme song to be in Spanish. And what was funny is the audience is screaming along in English. So I was like, it's like he was trying
That's
to
when
be,
you made a mark.
like you're trying to cater to who you're in front of, and like to their native language. And yet like, nah, dude, like they know the words. So I thought that was cool. But I think it's also not even just like for Hangman doing it in Spanish. I think it was what he said was also
what
like
he
pretty
said.
impactful, because again, like I said, the current climate, it's like this was the perfect opportunity. I guess it's like almost the timing couldn't have been better for AEW to be doing these shows. Couldn't have been better for him to talk about his life a little bit, to show you that he can speak another language, which is, I imagine most people probably had no idea about. And then, like just what's going on with him and his career right now, it just felt like everything worked well for it to happen this week.
I have the promo in English. If you
I
want
know
me
you
to
sent
read
it to me. Yeah.
You want me to okay.
Well, it's
Hi,
really long, so, I mean,
all right, I'll cut it. Hold on, I'll just summarize it. So we introduced him. My name is Hangman. I want to apologize for my Spanish because it's not the best, but it's a little better than those gringos, so I will try. That's when the crowd went fucking electric in that full sentence. And then he just talked. I mean, I don't need to go word for word, but pretty much he talks about how his family had a tobacco farm, and every summer they would have Spanish speaking, people from Mexico come up and work on the farm, and they taught him how to be like, an honest worker, genuine person, all that. So when the AEW does a collaboration with something like CMLL, it has a deeper meaning up to his to the show. This is why I want to say thank you for having us in your house tonight. Thanks for this collaboration. We can change the world. Now I will talk about our champion, Jon Moxley. I'm sorry to say that I don't have a match tonight, and I'm not allowed to be in the arena during his, and nobody said after the match. And spoiler alert, he ran in after the match. So great job. It was awesome to see. So
sorry, my internet went out.
I could see that.
Yeah.
She just disappeared there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of went boo. Little Casper the Ghost. You ever see the Vine where just like that dude who just goes and just disappears? It's kind of what you just did.
No, I have not.
What?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
True Lemon.
Very on par for me, but I think it is the fact that Goldberg is so beat up. And he's going to have this match. So I still think that he's probably, exaggerating a bit of how beat up he is, because I feel like he was putting that out there. People close to him were putting that out there to make it seem like he wasn't going to be returning. And I think it was because so many people were talking about him coming back to face Gunther now that he was champion, that I feel like they were trying to get people to back off a little bit so that they could get a bigger reaction to him returning. But you could tell that his knee is a little bad.
Oh no, it's gonna be a short match. Like Gunther said it. He can waste 3 minutes.
Right. And then he also has said that he's hurt himself from training to do this match, and that he hasn't been able to use his shoulder correctly for the past 5 years. So I know that I'm biased because I'm a Gunther fan, and that's why I don't want to see this match even more, because I think that Gunther deserves better. And I think that's what's so frustrating about this is like, this is not something that needs to happen. We already had a run from Goldberg not that long ago, and he won the title. Like, it's just like, and he did an interview saying that he didn't want to go out like that. What are you talking about, bro? Like, why? You're 58 now. It's like, and you're beat up. Like, the fact that you were working out and training for this match and you injured yourself more, isn't that a sign that you probably can't hang in the ring anymore? Like,
Sarah,
I don't
have
know.
a theory
It's
of why
just,
Goldberg is back. Okay.
It's just very frustrating. Well, no, he straight up said it's because he didn't want to end how it did in 2022.
Yeah, I know how that. Yeah, it's not a theory. It's really I'm going off of that and shit that's already been reported. Goldberg, when he came back to do that favor for Vince McMahon, he in the clause was that he got to go out on his own terms. Like he got one more match or something like that, and Vince never gave it to him. So he's looking now to go out on his own terms and get a payday, which
And that's fine.
at this point in how things are going in WWE, I as long as, and I want to say this is as long as Gunther wins,
Mm-hmm.
let it happen.
And
You know,
no
you're not
cash
wasting.
in. No cash in.
I don't think. See, that my mind's not even going there.
Well, that's what
For me,
everyone's saying. They're like, this is an obvious cash
Is
in.
it
I'm
everyone
like,
or is it the IWC? That's a little different.
I'm just saying online. That's what people are saying.
So, if you're gonna do it in his hometown at Saturday night's main event, and we're not gonna have an entire PLE or something like SummerSlam, you know, that's the main event. Let it happen. You know what I mean? Like, great. And I mentioned to you why, you know, the reason why you love Goldberg coming back is for the nostalgic feeling you get when he comes out. And that's 10 out of 10 reason, hand up, why I love seeing Goldberg back. His entrance, the smoke, pyro, everything. And then a spear or jackhammer. That's why I want to see Goldberg back.
Yeah, but we might not even
comes
get
to-
that because he has a bum shoulder.
When he gets to in the ring and eventually, you know, having to decide if he wins or loses, like, no, I don't want to see Goldberg go over and win the title. It makes no sense. If you want to go on his back and put over Gunther as the, you know, undisputed ring general, then sure. Fuck yeah.
Well,
great job.
he said in the interview that when he met him however many years ago, it was when he was like first coming to WWE, and he was like, he had a superstar up his ass and like blah blah blah. So it's like he had nothing but complimentary things to say about him. So I would like to believe that he's been in the game long enough to know that he has no business beating him. You know, like, you can come back and this can be your final match, and you specifically wanted to face Gunther, and that's why they're making it happen, and they're doing it in Atlanta for you. But that's it. You know, you go out with a loss. Like, it's not going to taint what people think of you. You know, like, you're still Goldberg. You were still 176-0. Like, you know, people aren't going to sit back and be like, oh my God, remember Goldberg and that match against Gunther when he was 58? Like, no one's going to talk about it, but it could harm Gunther's career. And so I would like to think that he understands that. So fingers crossed. For real.
Get real. Get up there. My lemon of the week is pretty short and sweet. Did not get to watch really any of NXT because of the busy week. All right. The only thing I really got to see was Blake Monroe's contract signing.
People love her song too, which is shocking.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. The song I like. Actually, thank you for bringing up the song, because that's another aspect of my lemon. Was the only thing I saw. I didn't watch NXT. And I still even have a lemon with what I saw. The death rebeling of theme songs. I am all for a little bit of an intro to someone's theme song, but they're all the same. They
do it too much though.
That's what I'm saying. They do it for everybody.
And it doesn't make sense. Like, I was just thinking about it with like Bailey. I hate Bailey's
role model.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is that? Like, the song afterwards, it's generic sounding, but I still think it's like, it's solid, it's decent, you know. Yeah. But it's like the beginning, we don't need that. Ricky Saints has an opening. Blake Monroe now has an opening. We know Thea Hale has an opening.
I'm a grown-ass woman.
Yeah. DIY had an opening. Motor City Machine Guns had an opening. Pretty Deadly has an opening, but I love theirs because it makes sense. But it's like,
no, but that's how many teams you name before you got to the that makes sense. I like it.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, and it's like, even remember AJ Styles when they redid his song?
They don't want none.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And the thing is, it's like, I guess I have a hard time understanding, like, they have to be aware of the reputation that they have with wrestling fans. There's no way that they do not know. And the fact that all they do is make entrance themes for wrestlers, it's mind-boggling to me that they do this and they don't see an issue with doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I just sat there and thought of all of those wrestlers that have a talking line at the beginning of their music in what, 30 seconds, and there's probably more that I haven't even thought of. And it's like, you don't see a problem with that at all?
No, seriously, like that's the biggest issue I have with
Tiffany Stratton too, but
see, like that, like
Chelsea
right.
Green also.
But how many did you just name? At
I
least
know.
10.
Yeah, at least 10. And I'm like, more are coming to me. So,
And if you think back in history, yeah, obviously that was a thing. You definitely had some sort of words spoken or sentences before the beat dropped.
yeah.
But they were all had like an identity to the character and the wrestler. This feels like it's just forced to add something to their song. You know, it
You know
doesn't
what I
feel like
think
it
it
goes
is?
completely with their character. What?
I know what it is because they know that their music is so generic sounding. This is what I'm telling you. They know from what people are saying, where their songs are
No, it's
so
everywhere.
you can't identify them. So they're like, the best way to go about it is to say who it is at the beginning of the song. Then no one can question it. It's like, who is that? Oh, wait, it just told me it was Blake Monroe. Or, oh, wait, it just told me it was DIY. You know what I mean? It's like the song is telling you at the beginning so that you're not sitting there, being like, wait, who is this? I
Who
have
is
to wait
this? You're
until I
just
see the
going,
Tron.
yeah.
Yeah,
And they
it's
don't even
like
have a Tron anymore. They just have
their name.
motion graphic with their
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, but it's like it's so annoying.
I will agree with this. I will agree with this. In the majority of songs.
Well, we also have to remember that Tony has an endless pocket. And, like,
Hey,
Daddy Khan.
use whatever works.
Yeah,
Whatever's
so
gonna
like
get you the win.
they can reach out to mainstream artists and stuff too. Like,
I mean, the
they're more
fact
willing
is,
to do that than WWE is. I mean, look at what he did for Bryan Danielson to use that
and
song.
do you know how iconic that is?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, he's willing to do that, but WWE has not been willing to do that for
That's
couldn't
the
even tell
biggest
you how long.
issue. They should really. I think they should really go back to having bands do some, not all. I think you should have someone like a Def Rebel be the music person, but more like allow more wrestlers that are your top stars to use outside influence in the music industry because
But
that's
like,
only helping you business wise too.
well, because they do that with the theme songs. You got Megan Thee Stallion to do
1, 2,
SmackDown.
3, 4, 5, 6,
You know?
7. I hate that so fucking much.
I know I don't like it either, but still, like, she's a big
Hate it.
name in the game right now,
Exactly.
But also, why can't they use like Jim Johnston even in some sort of like mentor role? Like, why can't you have him come in and just be like
consultant?
Yes, exactly. So
Restaurants
like,
do it all the time.
because it's like, I get that, he's like 70 or whatever he is at this point, and he probably doesn't want to come back. I don't know. But when people talk about entrance themes, everybody goes back to the Jim Johnston era. So, and there's a reason for that. And it's because of the feeling that you got when you could hear someone's song. That has been long gone. I mean, you could argue that CFOs had bangers, obviously. So I'm not disregarding them. But that, like, the feeling that that you get when you hear a song and just immediately knowing who it is or you understand their vibe, we have not had that in so long that it's like, it would be nice if we could have Jim Johnston around and like teach the next generation of people making the music to get that, or bring in a music composer who can also do it because they understand eliciting a feeling from the music, because they're like, all right, well, here's a scary scene in the movie, we need to have some sort of music to make you feel nervous or scared or something's building up. I want to feel that, because the thing is, when you think about it, it's like, it's not complicated. Stone Cold Steve Austin, glass breaks and then
you already know it.
Yeah, even like Trish Stratus, the little laugh at the beginning, and then it's Little Kim. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's so simple. It's not hard, but you automatically knew who it was. And now it's like, we're just going to say at the beginning, it's John Cena. And then you're like, oh, okay, I don't have to guess who it is. It's John Cena. You know, like,
It's Tiffy time.
yeah, it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
It is dumb. I kind of have to agree with you there.
We got a lot of comments.
A lot of comments. There we go. Final boss is back, Sarah.
So is Brother Nero. I made sure to say hello to Brother
Bro.
Nero.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, Finn Balor got 0. Big Jim saying Finn Balor got 0 reaction because of his. I mean, they've also switched his like 3 times in the past year and a half. So
I know. I watched a Rumble. I don't know if it was like 2019 or 2018, and that was like peak Finn Balor. And it's like, you know, he had the theme and everybody is standing. And I'm like, why didn't he get a push? He was the Yeet Master before the Yeet Master, because everybody was standing up and doing his entrance with him. You know what I mean? I'm like, what did you guys do to this man? And he was poking fun at himself on Instagram. Did you see that?
No, was it for the facial reactions that he gives?
No. It was for losing so much this year, where he's like 11 like 2, 11 and 1 or something like that.
That's
and
incredible.
It was somebody made like a video of him like dancing, like he's just like, oh yeah, you know, like he's just like making fun of it, because it's at this point it is ridiculous. I mean, we're almost 7 months into the year, and we were told by legitimate sources that Finn was gonna get a push this year, and I'm like, I'm still waiting on it. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I'm still waiting too, Sarah. I'm still waiting too for that push.
Oops.
But I'm not waiting anymore to travel around the Wrestleverse, as it is time to get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, starting out with the rumors that we're going to shut down right now. All right, TKO is not trying to sell WWE at the moment. They even put out a statement saying that, you know, it's ridiculous, it's farce, malarkey, Sarah, bullshit. And to me, I don't like, this is a headline that screams, I got bored, let me spread something. Like, why would they sell WWE right now after everything we've been fed?
Well, I
about
think
them breaking records.
People also need to remember that WWE is constant. UFC is not. So UFC might make a shit ton of money, you know, like on a big show or whatever, but that might be like once a month. You know, like UFC isn't doing like shows 3 times, 4 or 5 times a week the way that WWE does. So it's like the money, the cash flow with WWE is always happening. And then we're hearing, like you said, oh, they just had the biggest WrestleMania ever. They're about to set new records for this show and this show and this show. It's like, they're not going to, WWE is their cash cow. They would be dumb to get rid of it now. It would be stupid. Especially when the rumor is that they're already in debt, that TKO is in debt. There's that rumor. I don't know how true that is, but if it is, selling WWE ain't going to help you.
No, and they're not like in real debt. All right.
Well,
like, that's just a rumor.
No,
I mean, no, I'm on your boat. Like,
yeah,
it's just, of course they're going to say that because those rumors just fly. And it all, you know, I'm reading this article from PW Mania. And if this line makes the most sense, is that they say the financial context further supports the denial, as TKO has been focused on streamlining operations between WWE and UFC since the merger. Because the quote above was Dave Meltzer saying that they saved between 100 million and 150 million jobs by like $1 million, by cutting jobs. And it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, if they can do both, why not do both and make more money doing it?
WWE just tweeted today about UFC tickets going on sale from their official
they
account.
They promoted it on Raw and Netflix. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, so. It's just not. I mean, I don't even know where these kinds of things come from, other than someone just trying to like stir up drama. But it feels like with the people who are pushing it as it being legitimate or whatever, it feels like it's coming from a place of hope of people who complain constantly about Triple H and WWE. I mean, I understand that people are going to have issues with what's going on Raw and SmackDown. I mean, we air our grievances about shows every week. More so me.
We do.
More so
you
me,
do.
But,
way more you. But you, yeah.
But that's not me sitting here being like, oh, Triple H needs to be fired or like they need to sell the company. Like, I don't think that we're at that point yet. And I don't think that people realize like how bad WWE used to be, as we've talked about before. So I'm like, I don't think you guys understand like how good we have it right now. Like,
I really don't. You could tell people's age by the comments that they make. Seriously.
yeah.
On here. So,
Yeah.
all right. Bosch Canoe. What is the next topic you want to talk about? So I'm gonna let you kick this off because we had this as a topic last week, but we forgot it because I think we went over
Oh,
or
yeah, yeah.
something,
Yeah,
whatever the reason is. But it seems like a week later, this is still true.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory's babyface turn is
Mm-hmm.
imminent. We see, as the banner reads, after his main event appearance, he went to shake the hand of Dragon Lee. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
How we know this was because Grayson Waller caught it on camera, tweeted it out, and was making his own comments about it in the background. What we've seen on Raw between the bickering between Waller and Theory, and then last week while Bayley was making her way to the ring, New Day is standing side by side by Waller while Theory is pleading his case or arguing with him or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the videos that he's been posting on social media scream inspiration. And his tag team partner is not putting out videos for inspiration. So
No, he's actually
it's
made fun of him for doing it.
exactly my point.
Mm-hmm.
We need this more than we need air to breathe and I want it to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this forever. I think it's like the past 2 years I've been begging
Mhm.
them to turn him babyface. And I mean, I think that we're at a point where we're the closest to it
Mhm.
happening, to it actually happening than we ever have been. And I mean, obviously they're hinting at something. That's why Grayson got that video. That's why we've seen them in the background. That's why Austin Theory is a bit more active on social media than he usually is. I just, like I said, when we kind of talked about it recently, I just want to see more of it on screen. I want to actually hear what they're saying. I want to see some sort of like physicality or something between them. I want to see interactions that we can actually like talk about instead of being like, oh, this is what it kind of looked like in the background of somebody backstage. I think that's the only way that people are going to like actually care about Theory turning on Waller, because I think at this point people want to see it, but a lot of that is on the IWC, and the only way that you can get that kind of reaction that you want from like a babyface turn like that is to get people invested in it, and we need to see what's going on. It can't just be a 5-second clip of them arguing or looking like they're arguing in the background. We need to actually see something happen. So I'm hoping that we'll get there. I mean, there's no reason for them not to do that. I mean, they have technically they can be on air however long they want.
Technically
So,
on Netflix, you absolutely can.
yeah. So there's no reason that they can't fit in a segment with Theory and Waller every week. Like, it doesn't even have to be a match. It doesn't have to be a 5-minute thing. It could be an interview, and one that we all see also, not just like an interview with Kathy Kelly during the commercial break like they did with Penta last week.
I hate that. I
So do
gotta
I.
download NordVPN. We gotta invest in that for the show, Sarah, because I'm sick of watching Netflix, Raw Netflix with ads while shit is going on.
I hate it when it's something that's actually furthering a storyline. That's the
That's what I
part.
mean. That's what I
Like,
can't stand. I can't stand
yeah,
it.
if it's just a generic interview where it's like, oh, we don't have Penta on, so he's not booked at a match tonight, so let's just get him in an interview so that at least the live crowd can see him. Sure, whatever. I don't care about that. That's fine. But when it's like, Karrion Kross has had those, or Ludwig Kaiser was in them, and it was like, oh, you had no idea that it was adding to a feud or creating a storyline because you had to go and watch it on Twitter or YouTube later. And it's like, that's kind of, I get that they want, it's incentive and it's kind of forcing them to buy it, but it's also like, you shouldn't have to do that.
You shouldn't.
But
I have a question or quick question for you. Would you be okay with it if they did this more as social media content? And by that I don't mean just posting on X and Instagram. I mean like long form YouTube.
mhm.
Like would you be okay with that?
If they posted it on YouTube,
Like they did something of a backstage segment
yeah.
and it
I
ended
mean,
up being on YouTube and it was more long form and not short form like what we see on X with the quick clips from the back.
yeah. I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind the quick clips or whatever when it's not necessarily creating something that we haven't seen already. You know, like, but when when Kaiser's going out there or something and he's talking about whatever, you know, when he was involved in the IC title picture leading up to Mania, and he's like saying something about it, and we have no idea what
Yeah.
he's talking about until we then the following week it's like, oh, he's having a standoff with, I don't know, Braun Breaker, and you're like, wait, what? Where's this coming
How did
from?
that come out? Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I have a problem with it, because it's like
Mhm.
not everybody is in a position to be able to afford to pay for no ads, because it might only be $5 to $10, but not everybody has the extra cash to do that. So it just
Disposable
seems a
income.
little unfair for WWE to do that. And then at the same time, you could argue it's unfair that they're asking people to do that and then they post the clips online, because then why are you paying the extra for no commercials if you're just going to give it out for free later? So
Exactly.
it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's frustrating, but it is what it is at that point, you know?
It's nonsense. Sorry, it is absolute nonsense. Nick Khan does not care about the IWC as he went on Stephanie McMahon's podcast today. What's your story? I want to listen to this, and I probably will end up listening to this at some point. Did not. I was stuck or not. Take a reverse here. I listened to Cora Jade, and I usually wrap up CVV this week, but I was stuck yesterday with work stuff, so I didn't get to listen to full Shotzi. So we're a little behind. I want to check this out because Nick Khan is a brilliant mind. The clips that I have seen so far, he's inspiring. You know, it's someone that I would want to work for
Mm-hmm.
with that mentality. And I love the comment he made about the IWC. And I have the quote here. It's not as long as Hangman's promo. He said, "We always encourage our writers, don't program for that," referring to the IWC. "Program for the universe, not for the small portion of the universe who wants to criticize you," which is the IWC. And I love that mindset because that's what you're planning. You're planning your show. You know your fan base, you know your audience. You're planning and writing for them, which I appreciate.
I have a rebuttal though.
What?
And the only reason I have a rebuttal is because I thought it was interesting that somebody said he can say this and that makes sense, right? But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you cannot say that the IWC does not have an impact on what they do, because the IWC is part of why they pivoted for WrestleMania 40. The IWC is a part of the reason why they pivoted with R-Truth. So to act like, oh, we're not booking for the IWC, you are, because a lot
Yeah.
of them also go to shows, and a lot of the way that people feel about certain things is because of what is being said on the internet, because everything is so available, information is so available
So
to people
available.
right
Yeah.
now. So like, I get that, you know, there's a lot of troll accounts who literally only watch that they only watch
They only watch for it.
wrestling to hate on it, but there are also people who go on the internet and talk about it, and they do watch the programs every single week, and they do go to the shows when they can. So I think that's like, I get what he's saying, but you also can't act like you completely ignore the IWC all the time, because you don't. There's a like
No.
there are not. Do you think the Yes movement was started just in the arena?
No, but that's the
No.
thing that is different. What I think is different is that the IWC and WWE fans, like sometimes they're the same person, and it's only a small select few, that
Well,
are,
that's what I'm
and
saying.
with
Like, some of them are
moments like,
trolls.
yeah,
And
exactly. And the moments that you're referring to are things that have left the internet. We want truth chants. we want Cody that
Yeah.
are taking over the broadcast, that's different. And that's
Well-
when they do pivot, and that's like, all right, this is our universe. Which
I just mean like I'm saying like all that stuff originates online. That's what I'm saying. So it's like to act like the IWC has no impact on how you do things. That's wrong because Truth was fired or released, whatever, between shows. It wasn't like it happened during SmackDown and then all of a sudden people were like, we want Truth. We want Truth. No, it started on the internet and people were getting pissed off about it. And those are people who then went to Raw and started saying, we want Truth. So that's what I mean. It's like, it's the same thing. Like people cheered when The Rock took the match away from Cody. And then once it settled and people realized what was happening,
what
they then went to Raw and were saying like, fuck The Rock and whatever. So again, it's like the internet does have a say in how people react. It doesn't always align, obviously, with how people are perceiving a show in person. We know that because like people reacted fondly of Goldberg showing up on this past Raw, but the internet is like, what the fuck is this? You know, so it's like it's not the same. But when it comes to other things, it's like it's happening in between shows. So I don't know. Like I said, I understand what he's saying, but you also cannot completely negate the internet because so many people have access to the internet. It's not like everybody that goes to shows doesn't have a social media account or doesn't talk about wrestling online or doesn't participate in the conversation, whether it's good or bad. It's just like, you know, you see it, especially with WrestleMania. WrestleMania is like the hub of the IWC. It is. It just is because it's a different crowd because it's from people all over the world. Everywhere. Why do you think Dominic Mysterio was getting favored in the IWC, or I'm sorry, in the IC title match when Braun Breaker was in there? Penta was in there. Like those are people who should be getting cheered for over Dominic Mysterio. But Dominic ran back into the ring to celebrate with the crowd. Again, that's an IWC influence. That because look at Dom now. The crowd is back to booing him. So I think he's got to, I get what he's saying, but we can't act like, oh, the IWC has no influence. They do. It's like, it's when it translates to the crowd, which proves it, you know?
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh,
what you were reading?
I was reading comments. Yeah, he said that Nick Khan said when he said that they don't bench people. I still bring that up, but people try to say that it was the context that matters because he was saying that they don't bring people in, like they don't hire people to bench them. And we also know that's not true because Hikuleo was hired months ago and he just debuted on Main Event.
Debuted.
Chelsea Green was signed and didn't debut for months. Like
it was the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, there are people who that's not true. But even if we want to say taking it out of that context, it's still true. You had Bayley on the shelf for months for no reason. It was storyline. She wasn't injured. Right now, you have Ludwig Kaiser for no reason. You could even go back Giovanni Vinci. My guy Giovanni Vinci was for no reason.
Or like, Giovanni Vinci.
Oh my God, when I watched, like I said, Clash of the Castle, and him and Ludwig introduced Gunther, I was like, my heart aches right now. My heart aches. But yeah, Micah says, Sarah, do you think R-Truth should have a Truth versus the establishment type storyline with Triple H? I know Triple H can't wrestle, but Triple H can put a wrestler to go against Truth to represent him. I don't think so. I think Triple H doesn't want to get involved in storylines. I feel like he's talked about that. Like, I think that's a very Vince thing to do. And I kind of hope to like get involved in storylines and like be a part of a feud.
No, he doesn't want that.
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't think he wants that.
Even from a non-physical standpoint, he does not want to do that. It's such a different era. It's such a different era now.
Yeah. Yes, I do have a never-ending feud with the Bloodline stands. Also,
oh my God, that's a rivalry that we could revisit for.
Diva accounts fucking hate to see me coming too. They hate to see me coming. Unfortunately, yeah, they are some of the worst though. They really are.
I
They are the ones who were
define diva count for
Okay,
me,
it's
because
the one-
I think I have sorry.
It's the one that it's like a picture of Rhea Ripley and like all that they talk about and defend is Rhea Ripley and they shit on everybody else. Or it'll be like, you know, Liv Morgan. I mean, Liv Morgan fans and Rhea Ripley fans fucking hate each other. And it's like, that's partially why Rhea
It's like
even
Swifty. It's like
yeah, and
people who are like
Ariana.
Team Selena
Yeah.
or Team Haley.
Yes. So yeah, that's partially why Rhea had to put out a tweet after Liv got injured because their fans were going at it and like
so
celebrating
insane.
Liv's injury. So that's what I mean. It's like I mean, when I just made a TikTok about Liv getting injured, there were people in the comments celebrating her being injured.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. It's like
IWC. That's the IWC and not like a real WWE or wrestling.
They're also people that are like 40 years old.
Yeah,
and sitting
incels,
behind a fake.
inbreds.
Yeah, it's yeah. So those are the people that do not dictate what happens. But obviously, the IWC does have a voice.
That's who Nick
And
Khan is.
I think it's easier for somebody like Nick Khan to not give them that credit, though, because if he says, "Oh yeah, we do cater to the internet," then the internet is going to be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that?" Like he's not going to go out there and say, "Yeah, we listen to the internet." We know they do. Triple H has already told us, like, admitted that he's online. He sees the tweets. Like, we know that they're listening. So yeah, I like Rhea, but I Liv is my girl. Liv is my queen. So I feel you.
I'm a big Liv. I like them both. Sorry, I'm. I
Clash
like
at the Castle. She was against Shayna Baszler when she was SmackDown Women's Champion. I was like, what the hell is this? What is this?
Where are we going now? Oh, why did Jordan Grace's theme song get changed?
I know why.
You know why? I know
Yes.
why too, Sarah, and I'm going to tell you right now. It is because per Fightful, I'll get the actual quote about, but Braun Breaker's entrance and that siren is a little too similar. That's what I read about.
I think also, like, I get it. Every time I hear the siren, I think of Scott Steiner. So that's the thing, is like every time I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, this is Jordan Grace.
Yeah, okay, continue.
I think Jordan Grace, I think her new theme is actually good. Like, again, nothing special. It's generic, but I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think it had words before it. Did it?
No, it did. I don't think so.
That's why I liked it.
But I think the music wasn't bad. Like, I felt like it kind of
good.
fit her vibe. Like, I think people were making a big deal out of it just to make a big deal out of it.
They wanted to make a big deal out of something. Here we go. I have it right here. They've chanted "Fire Deaf Rebel."
Yeah,
which was
calm
awesome.
Down. Calm down.
And where is it? She owned the rights to that song, and I'll read here. We're told that especially in the recent months, WWE is been adamant again about owning theme songs that are used. Beyond that, a change was necessitated. Thank you. Due to the sirens at the start of it, with Braun Breaker's theme already having sirens and the natural family connection to Scott Steiner, that was given priority. So, wrestling has more than one royal family, apparently. So
we also have to remember that she can change it.
Yeah.
If she doesn't like it, she can change it. Well, I mean, we saw, like, with AJ Styles, they changed his song and it didn't take long for him to go back. So it's possible that Jordan can change it. But I also feel like it's not that bad. Like, her new song is not that bad. Like,
it could be so much worse. It could be so.
We've heard a lot worse.
I've heard so much worse in the past year.
Yeah. There's way worse ones in WWE right now.
Currently.
Yeah.
Currently, there's so much worse.
Even in NXT.
Yeah, there was a rumor about Metro Boomin doing them, and
I know.
damn it, I wanted so bad.
He's like begging them at this point. It's like, please let me. And I'm like, yeah.
Sure.
And that's
pal.
And that's why what did he say? It was like, oh yeah, Triple H, when he posted that photo with the guy from, what was the band that did no with who did Damien and Ray Phoenix's guitar.
Oh, Adam Jones of Oh, what's the band that's gonna Tool?
Yeah, so he said that they paid him like $1 or something. I was like, I feel like this was kind of a statement because I'm like, oh, does Metro want money? Like, yeah, of course he'd want fucking money. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about a guitarist that's like retired. Like, he doesn't need you to pay him like $1 million, but like, I'm like, I don't think that they realize how much money they're missing out on by signing somebody like Metro Boomin to make music for them, because I'm like, that is music that would be downloaded by people who aren't even wrestling fans. You're missing a huge
That's the
opportunity.
point. That's the point. That's how you integrate fans and get the casuals to become WWE fans at the least. Sarah, are you a fan of this? SmackDown returns to 2 hours on July 4th. A lot of chatter online about how people have felt with SmackDown going to 3 hours once they debuted on the USA Network. And now it has been announced that they will return back to 2 hours on July 4th because USA Network has a new show debuting called The Rainmaker, which it's pretty funny if you're a wrestler. Yeah, that was my thought.
Yeah.
I was like, God
Look at me,
damn
though.
it, Tony. That was good. Sarah, I'm proud
I know
of you
ball.
for that one.
I know
know ball if you can pull that one out.
So I'm actually like kind of split on this, and I think part of it is just because I was trying to be optimistic about the move to 3 hours because I was like, all right, it's SmackDown. They have the talent. There's no reason for them to not be able to fill a 3-hour show and fill it easily. Sorry. But I think we've had more than enough evidence that they just do not put the same care and attention into SmackDown the way that they do for Raw. And so it feels, I don't know, at this point, it almost feels inevitable that they were going to move it back to 2 hours, whether they're being forced to or not. So like in that regard, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. That's fine because you guys haven't been able to put together, even a handful of successful 3-hour SmackDown since it became 3 hours. But I'm also just like a little bummed about it because I feel like this is now just going to force even more people to not be on the show. And I feel like they have the talent. So going down to 2 hours, that's cutting another 40 minutes out of the show. And that's 40 minutes that we could be seeing more tag team matches. That's more women's matches. That's more anything, and underutilized talent, aka Pretty Dudley. Like there are people that should be getting on TV, and now their chances of getting on TV are even slimmer. So that's the thing that just bums me out. So that's why I'm like torn. It's like it makes sense, but I'm also just not thrilled about it.
I want to see them be more efficient with their time now that it is 2 hours. The one thing about Raw is that it picks up. It does, it's constantly moving. They go from one segment to the next seamlessly, sometimes in one shot. I want to see more of that on SmackDown, and because of what you're saying, they're not treated the same as Raw.
Yeah.
Try new things.
I don't know why, and this is the thing.
Who cares?
Just because it's not on Netflix, why had you not tried to make it better? Because again, this is more
cable television.
It's more accessible to more people because more people have cable than they do have a Netflix subscription. So like, why aren't you trying to put together like solid shows every single week like that?
I don't know why.
You had such a big opportunity here, and to create more stars because you have an extra 40 minutes, or whatever, an extra hour to feature more people. And now it's like, okay, you want more call-ups, if they do the draft anytime this year or even in the near future. How are you going to fit all of the people that you have down in NXT that should be on TV every week when you're cutting an hour out of it and you already don't feature the people who should be featured every week?
I know.
It's just a mess. That's the thing that I don't think people are thinking about. I get like that SmackDown isn't great every single week. I'm not arguing that it is, but I think that people overlook the importance of having that extra hour and how, maybe we wouldn't have gotten some of these solid tag team matches recently if they cut that extra hour out, because they don't really care about the Raw tag team division. So they could easily do that with SmackDown because the SmackDown tag division has only gotten hot recently.
Yeah, no, that will stay. You know what I mean?
What
Like,
I'm saying is if they
oh,
didn't
okay.
have that extra hour, they might not have moved in that direction, is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
So it's like,
Okay.
if it had always been 2 hours, maybe we wouldn't be sitting here actually excited about, the Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns or whatever.
Yeah.
Or we wouldn't be getting funny moments with Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu, or maybe LA Knight would be missing more episodes because there were times where he wasn't on for a week or two. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's just it's a double-edged sword, I kind of feel like.
I'd agree. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
Peeps want LA Knight on Raw. We've been saying this for weeks. What more do we need to say?
No, we've been saying this for years. We've been saying this for
what more than
years.
what else do we need to say, Sarah?
It's
We've been saying this. It makes more sense. I don't know why we haven't already.
He's needed to be on Raw since he moved to SmackDown, like once they finally like split the rosters again. Because Roman Reigns was champion. After that, Cody Rhodes was champion. Now John Cena's champion. We know LA Knight is not unseating John Cena. We know that he was never unseating Roman Reigns, and he was never unseating Cody Rhodes. So it like limits him so much to be on SmackDown. And I'm like, I feel like he can be a SmackDown guy, but to me, he's got the vibes of Raw. There's just something, the aura of LA Knight on Raw is so different. So I want to see him against those guys that are on Raw. He also has the opportunity to go for the IC title because, again, it's not tied to someone the way that it used to be when it was with Gunther. So now it's like, okay, and Dom is the IC champion right now. Easy for him to go after that. So I mean, and he can go for the World Heavyweight title. Gunther is a champion right now. Go after that too. Doesn't have to win necessarily, but he can still go after it. Like, there's just a lot more opportunities for him. A lot more people that he can feud with that I think people want to see, including Seth Rollins.
Yeah, he should be feuding with Rollins. I'd agree with that.
Imagine him on Raw. Like, one of his big colors is red.
That's his primary color.
I know. So it's like, come on now. You saw how good he was on Raw.
He was fantastic.
Dude.
He was fantastic.
Okay, final boss. I mean,
that's tearing at the heartstring.
Yeah, I like Gunther more than LA Knight, so I would have to. I mean, I like LA Knight, but it's Gunther. And yeah, WrestleVotes did say this today.
Yeah,
but
and great. We've been saying it for years now. As Sarah said. Like, we have.
Thank you for joining us for the time that you did, Micah. Thanks for
that's
watching.
Why you're here.
Yes, appreciate it so much.
You'll check out the videos
Yes.
later. You'll check out what you missed. And that's a great example, Micah. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's why you hit the subscribe button and bell notification, because we post the videos.
Yes. Okay, so who would you want to see get a push more right now on Raw? Karrion Kross or LA Knight?
Karrion Kross.
I would say, I feel like if we're talking about who needs the push, it's Karrion.
But I want to see Karrion Kross more still. Like, I know that all they need to do is just give him the ball. He will score.
Yeah, I think
we know LA Knight can take the ball and score.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm saying, I'm like, who needs it? It would be Karrion. LA Knight doesn't. I want to see LA Knight go further. Like, I would love to see him be champion, but like, he doesn't need it the same way that Karrion does. You know what I mean? But I also think that LA Knight is like the full package, and you could argue that Karrion is not when it comes to the ring, because a lot of people do not think that he's a good wrestler. I understand. I think that but I think the thing is the IC title is, I still think he could elevate it to the way that like Gunther did. But I get what you're saying. I think that people forget he was US champion. So that's why I was saying he should probably be IC champion before he just moves straight to the World Heavyweight. Like, because at least that gives him something to do right away also. But anyway, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Last night, MJF did the unthinkable and unmasked Mystico. I thought the match itself was very good. There's a great story there. I might make a TikTok later.
Is Mystico Sin Cara?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The original Sin Cara?
Yeah, it's the OG Sin Cara.
Okay, so does he speak English yet? And I don't mean that in a racist way. That was
No,
one of the
he's
big.
done.
Okay.
That was no. He's spoken. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
The reason I say
know
that.
exactly what you mean.
Okay.
Because WWE did not do the best job of,
No, Vince
promoting him.
purposely would not let
No,
him speak because
exactly.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, does
No,
he speak
spoke
now?
on.
Because
Yeah, he
okay.
spoke. He spoke on air and made a comment
Okay,
like
cool.
Pendejo or something.
Because
to
I haven't
MJF.
paid attention to him at
Yeah,
all.
no, that's it. That see, you're asking the right question, Sarah. Okay.
I just didn't want it to come off the wrong way. That's why.
Especially in this day and age. But no, the match was good. I might make a TikTok later about it because I could go into a whole royal ramble about the story of the match because it's there, and that's why MJF is better than you, and you know it. But I wanted to get your thoughts on the unmasking of luchadors. When we were growing up watching wrestling, it was more than taboo. You never saw it. You never even really heard of it because it was so taboo. And nowadays, I've seen it so often. I saw it on the indies first in Limitless, I'm pretty sure. And then I was seeing it on Beyond Wrestling. Now I'm seeing it in AEW and WWE because
It feels like
Chad
the biggest moment was Rey Mysterio in WCW. It feels like that was like the big.
That was the big one because it's like, oh
big
shit.
one.
And now he's, masked again. So,
Well, they also
whatever.
did do Santos Escobar. He got on.
He had a mask. Yeah, he had a mask. So it's like, what do you think? What do you think of that though? Of them breaking that unwritten rule?
Okay, first of all, I don't watch it, but I kind of pay attention to what's going on.
No,
So,
you pay, what's up. Details are not important. Spark notes are.
Yeah. Okay, so again, this is something that I'm kind of like torn on because like if you ask me my opinion outright without any context to it, I would say that I hate it. Like I just don't like the unmasking. I like that being part of the culture. I mean, you can see the Ray Phoenix and Penta are the epitome of like you do not know what they look like under that mask. You cannot find photos of them anywhere on the internet from what I mean, I've looked. You can't find anything. Like they're very dedicated to like you will not know my real
living
identity.
the gimmick, baby. They're living the gimmick.
But I do think that if a luchador is in a position where they can call the shots, if they decide that they are okay with it or they're pitching the idea of being unmasked, I then can't say that I don't like it because if they're agreeing to it or they're proposing it, then clearly like they don't hold that sentiment to the mask the way that like others have historically. I mean, since I say Penta and Ray Phoenix, I think it's Penta who said that he would love to have a mask versus mask match with Ray.
He did say that.
So with his own brother, so it's like if they are the latest example of like not letting people know who you are under the mask and keeping that tradition alive. But the fact that he's even toying with the idea of him or his brother getting unmasked means like, okay, there might be a point in their career where they are okay with that. So that's why it's like, do I like it on the surface? No, but clearly Mystico is like fine with it, whether it was his idea or it wasn't his idea, he agreed to do it. So who would I be to then complain about it? Like, it's not me. It's his career. It's his decision. If that makes sense.
I do agree with that. I agree with that point, but I still do not like the unmasking. I like the lore. I like the lore of it.
I know. Oh my God, my sister, we were too young to watch back then, but she is obsessed with that era of Rey Mysterio because he was young and she was like, oh my God, he's so hot. And I'm like, Erica, he's like 5'1". What are we doing? Calm down. But I send her videos all the time when I see that. And it's just like, I don't know. It's so legendary to see Rey as a heel. I mean, other than the fact that it's like unmasked Rey, it's like Rey as a heel. He's never been a heel in WWE. So crazy.
I think it's to circle it back to Mystico, Sin Cara, I think they're setting up something at All In. They have to be. It only makes sense.
Poor
And
Sin
MJF
Cara.
loves MJF loves the heat.
Well,
Heard he
yeah.
was like almost attacked at
No, I
his
saw.
hotel.
Well, and
And
that's the thing. If you're gonna do that, then they were
I'll
in the
respect
right
it.
place. It was the right time to get that.
He knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
He said he was happy he got that much heat. That's old school shit. You don't see that anymore.
Mm-mm.
You don't see that anymore. And then to top it off with something else that's a burning topic in
Burning
that
my
is-
loins.
I mean, maybe Seth Rollins. Rumors
Mhm.
of people joining his faction, nameless faction, and those two names being Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, which is hilarious because they are currently feuding
Mhm.
in NXT.
Mhm.
And for some reason, someone thought that the tweet was saying that both of them would be added, and they got all hot and bothered. And we're like, no, they feud. So, yeah. What do you make of this?
Is it weird that I actually like don't love either of them being in it? Is that like controversial?
Explain your reasoning. Is it because you want someone else, like you have someone else in mind, or it's just you hear these names and it just gut feeling? No, I'm not feeling it.
It's hearing the names and I'm not feeling it. And it's nothing against them at all. I like them both. They're both very talented. I just think the way that they've made this group, it feels obviously Seth is the leader and he's got the muscle with him, right? So like to me, it doesn't make sense because that's neither of these guys. Like no one is intimidated by the two of these guys just by looking at them, right? The way that they are with Braun Breaker and the way that they are with Bronson Reed. They're not looking at Ethan and Ricky being like, "Oh shit, I don't want to mess with you." You know, like that's not.
Yeah, I think it's more building. This guy would be more of a building a star, and the person that seems more fitting for that would be Ethan Page and how this group operates. His name is All Ego for a reason. Okay.
Yeah. So
and the mouth, he would be more of a mouthpiece than Seth would.
Well, and that's so like that. I was going to say, if I had to choose one, like if one of them is inevitably going to be in the group, it's Ethan Page 100% because his vibe aligns well with Seth. However, I think that there is a big issue here. Ethan does not feel like a follower to me. So that would be something that I was like, like
That's
I feel like
very astute observation.
Yeah.
Ethan Page is not a follower. Okay.
He's not. So that's the thing. I don't see him joining a group and then like abiding by what Seth is telling him. That would feel competitive to me because they are similar, right? Like, so that doesn't, and I think Ricky is better as a babyface. Like, I'm not saying that he can't be a heel. He can. We've seen it, obviously. But like, I don't think that Ricky is established enough in NXT yet. Like, I want to see more from him in NXT before he gets moved into a group. And then I feel like he would just kind of like fall to the background because we're also trying to build up Braun Breaker and they're also trying to build up Bronson Reed. So it's like they don't need to necessarily have another developmental type of dude in the group, you know? So I'm not somebody that's sitting there being like, oh, I think they definitely need somebody else. Because I also don't want it to become what the NWO became, where it was like literally fucking everybody was joining it.
Yeah, I'm on. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that. But I also don't know that I'm against somebody coming in. It's just these two names are not the names that I would vibe with. Like when we were first talking about it, these were names that were thrown out there, and you were like, okay, maybe, you know, because it was just
you know, you had no idea, and you had no idea where the group was going.
It was Braun and Seth and Paul. So you were like, okay, maybe Ethan could be cool. But now that we kind of know what they are, I'm not into either of these guys. I would rather see these guys called up and do single stuff rather than being put into a group.
All right. Yeah, definitely Ricky Saints. I am curious on how you could throw Ethan Page in there. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't think it is a terrible idea. So we'll
but I
have
make
to.
the point. He's not a follower.
He is not a follower, which is why it would be very interesting for him to join.
He could be like a great Paul Heyman guy on his own.
That's what I mean. Like, it could be branching off to make him into like Paul Heyman could have his own Heenan family. His other Dangerous Alliance.
Or the
Dangerous
Callis
Alliance.
family. Maybe
Fuck
there's
the
a
Callis family. Fuck Don
That
Callis.
is another thing though. Like Don
I
Callis
was-
is like becoming the NWO, where it's like
Oh my
everybody's
God.
joining the Callis family. That's what I don't
Gary,
want to happen.
You'll laugh at this. So I watched. My girlfriend slept over last night, and I made her watch Grand Slam. And she making her comments, whatever. But the funniest one was she was like, "Who is that penis-looking dude or something in the ring?" And I was like, "That's Don Callis." We all screamed "Fuck Don Callis" at him, and immediately, like
She was
right
like,
after I said that, but right after I said that, the crowd chanted "Fuck Don Callis." So it was just like, oh, you gotta love wrestling fans being so predictable.
we like the Wolf Pack.
Wolfpack is back,
That's the
mass
NWO that I
destruction.
acknowledge is just the red and Kevin. I acknowledge Kevin and Scott, but I also I will acknowledge Hollywood Hogan. I can't
I
not.
can't believe you'll acknowledge him.
I can't not. It's the original. The
I mean,
original
it is
three.
OG, but still, I can't. Oh my God, I have done the biggest 180 on Hulk Hogan
I'm not
since growing up.
supportive of Hulk Hogan, but I'm saying I can't like say I love the NWO
Oh,
and
well,
ignore
true.
a
Yeah, I
third
get
of it.
that. But I just had this thought when you were a fan of Hulk Hogan. Not really. Oh, see, I loved Hulkamania. And then you
No,
learn more about him and just like, fuck you.
nah,
Fuck the Hulk
I
Hogan.
liked him in the NWO, but I was also like 11. So,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, no, I was never like super into it. We have Alex.
We did
I made a
already.
TikTok about it too, and I
We
posted
made
the
a
video
TikTok,
today.
No Nights Off show, but we'll touch on it quick here to make
Mhm.
another clip. Liv Morgan's injury, it is
Severe.
reported, right? It's severe. It's gonna require surgery.
Yeah.
From what
So
we saw.
at least 6 months is what they're saying.
And yeah, so no Evolution, no SummerSlam for Liv Morgan, and the WWE creative have no idea what to do yet with the tag team titles and
Roxanne.
tag team too. Oh yeah, we made that. Yeah,
Roxanne.
we made that. Yeah, yeah.
This
We said
the
that
only good thing
on
about
Monday
this
or
is
Tuesday.
yeah, and the good thing about this is I think Liv could have an epic return at the Rumble.
Yeah, there you go. Way to
They
think.
just have to
think.
do a good job in her absence. That's the thing. I am against Dom leaving Liv for Raquel. Or I'm sorry, for Roxanne. I don't
Roxanne.
want that at all.
No, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it's necessary.
We already have done it. We've already done it. You know what I mean? Like we've already seen that. Like I get it's a callback to the Rhea and Liv situation, but like the Liv and Dom dynamic is so different than what it was with Rhea. So I'm more invested, and I think people are more invested in this than they were with with Dom and Rhea. So like I want to see that continue because I think they're so good together on screen in interviews. Like, so I would love for that for her because this sucks. Like I hate it. I've made like I don't know 2 TikToks on it already. Like it's so bad. I'm gonna miss Liv, and I think people are going to realize that they're gonna miss her too. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna miss her. We'll see you at the Royal Rumble.
Why are people saying that I look like her mom? Like what are we talking about?
I mean, go with it.
And I also don't understand why do you think this is funny?
I don't know,
get
Sarah.
it.
Go with it. Run with it.
I'm barely older than Liv.
But you're older, and that's why I think they're going for it.
But do I look like I'm way older than her? No.
I don't think it's the way older. I think it's just simple brain, simple thoughts. So
we're hoping that he's gonna cash in on John Cena.
If that doesn't happen, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Then he can feud with Seth. He can feud with he can feud with Cody. He can feud with Roman. He can feud with Cena.
There's a lot you can do there. There's a lot you
Drew.
Can do. There's a lot you can do there. So yeah, 1, 2, 3 count. Sarah, it's time for the 3 count starting. 20 questions, hardcore champs.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Um,
I did not see this.
okay, so how about I
I'm not
think
gonna
of
be good
one.
at this.
How about you think of one and I'll guess it, okay?
Okay, because I'm like, I'm not gonna be good at.
No, you think of one and I'll guess it. Because one we got time restriction.
Okay. Oh, it was vacated.
It was. Do you know who vacated it?
Road Dog. I'm looking at.
Sorry. I misinterpreted that.
Who's a good one? Joey Abs. I'm sorry. Joey Abs. What a name.
Do you know who Joey Abs is?
No.
Mean Street Posse. He was Shane McMahon's friends.
Oh, okay. I think he's controversial, I think, so I don't want to pick him.
Okay.
Okay, I got one.
All right. Male or female?
Male.
Okay. Attitude Era?
Yeah.
All right. Attitude Era. Okay. Were they known for being in a faction rather than being a standalone guy?
No.
It was okay, it's a standalone guy. Al Snow.
No.
Damn, I thought it was a good one. I thought I had it. Have I watched this person? No, that's a back question. We're gonna take that back. Did this person wear trunks?
No.
And I'm talking about the Speedo trunks.
I know. No.
Okay, no. Okay, good. Raven.
Yes. God damn it.
Let's go. Hell yeah. That was good shit.
Man, I was hoping that
shit.
I could. I was gonna go with Steve Blackman too, but
Oh my god, the Lethal Weapon.
he was such a. I could not stand him.
I loved
Trainer Red. Do you want to
guess? Not
guess?
too easy.
Do you want to guess? Here, Trainer Red, you guess the next one. Let me find somebody.
Oh, Trainer Red, you shouldn't have done that, man.
Let's see. Oh. Godfather's Hoe won on May 15th, 2000.
That's why I asked male or female. Are you kidding me? I know my history.
That's so funny. I just love how that's listed there. Godfather's Hoe. Okay. Let's see. Oh wait, no, I just saw who's I Godfather's Hoe is so funny. Who was I gonna pick? Where did it go?
I don't know where it went.
Oh wait, no, I remember now. Okay. Where is it though? When did he win it? Oh, I see it. Okay. Okay, Trainer Rep. Go for it. Nope.
Go for it.
It's not the hardest one.
No, we could have gave you Godfather's Hoe.
Yeah, we could have given you Godfather's Hoe.
Like
the fact that that's listed and it also has a wiki page. Iconic. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can keep going. Oh wait, did he answer? Does he have long hair? Yes. He sure does. He sure does.
Oh, I'm gonna send it in the private chat. I just thought of somebody.
Oh, did she debut as a hoe? I don't know.
Victoria did debut as a hoe. That is correct. She did.
And you're wrong, by the way.
Okay, that's fine. That was the first person who popped into my head.
Mm-mm.
I don't even know if you won it.
Let me scroll.
Now I'm guessing. You got me guessing again. I love games like this.
Let's see. I'll see.
All right. Well, while we go to the next one, you can keep guessing, Trainer Red, because we got to get the show moving in kayfabe. I don't really have one this week, Sarah. All right?
I had one. Did we say anything about like Jamie Noble? Like he actually is from a trailer park. He really is from a trailer park.
Jamie Noble.
John Morrison and Johnny Nitro are not the same person.
I like that one. John
and Johnny Mundo.
John Morrison, Johnny Nitro,
Johnny Mundo,
and then Johnny Mundo,
Are not the same.
Johnny TV are all different people.
Yeah. Joey Abs.
The Mean
Mike-
Street Posse bullied Shane McMahon.
Mike Awesome.
Mike Awesome isn't that awesome. Sarah, that actually was going to be one of these 3 counts, but I chose something else.
Oh,
Did you-
Johnny Impact.
Of course, we can't forget Johnny Impact.
Johnny Nitro was a cool name. Did you already give up, Trina Red? Did you
He
already
did
give up?
See, that's what I mean. It's he doesn't have the. There we go. There's the light. Do you know, Sarah, that Mike Awesome and Taz were in? Hold on, let me back up here. Mike Awesome was ECW champion
Mhm,
in like the early '90s, but he already signed with WCW. Was going to take the title over.
mhm.
So Paul Heyman made a deal with Vince to have Taz, who was a contracted WWE superstar,
Mhm.
fight Mike Awesome for the ECW title to take the belt off him.
Oh.
And it was the first match, at least in history, where 2 people from 2 different companies were competing for another company's title that both were neither contracted superstars in. So when people
Okay.
say Trick Williams was the first WWE superstar to ever hold a championship outside of WWE, they are wrong. It was actually Taz. And 3 to wrap it off.
He also was Johnny Elite. The dude, the amount of names that this person that he's had, that's insane.
And 3, just a quick one because I don't have nonsense. I got to wrap up King and Queen of the Ring, or as the Nonsense Wrestling Federation calls it, royalty in the ring. I'm going to wrap that up tonight while I fall asleep. But I wanted to wrap this up with a little fun fact, maybe for you, Sarah, but definitely for the peeps. That Triple H was actually supposed to win King of the Ring the year that Austin made that historic Austin 316 promo.
Who was supposed to win?
Triple H was
Oh.
supposed to win. But because of that's funny, Sarah. But because of the Click situation and the Madison Square Garden incident, it was stripped away from him for a year. So
I mean,
there's a little bit of wrestling knowledge to
it's
wrap
like you
up.
broke kayfabe. We don't like that. You are
Yeah.
punished.
And he couldn't. The Diesel and Scott Hall were already on their way out, so you can't punish them.
Yeah, they didn't
Shawn
care.
Michaels was the face of the company. You're not
Mhm.
punishing, and a lunatic. You're not
Mhm.
punishing him.
Yeah.
So who was the guy? Triple H.
Why would you break kayfabe? How dare you?
I know, such old school thinking. That's all we got for you guys today. Thank you all for tuning into this edition of the No Nights Off Super Show. Make sure you hit that subscribe and bell notification to know every time we go live and post. Follow us on TikTok at No Nights Off Show. We're over 1,000 followers now. I'm on TikTok too now at
Mhm.
Patty Pitts. I got 101 followers. I'd like to get to 200. I want to have the same amount there. And then follow us on X at Patty Pitts and at SMarsh XO. Instagram, follow me at Patty Pitts as well. We'll be back next
Also-
week. Oh,
It was Funaki.
it was fucking Funaki.
It was Funaki. Kai and Tai.
Fucking love Kai and Tai. So we'll be back next week for the Raw Rewind. But in the meantime, go check out all the clips that we post. Yeah, you did. And go check out all our other stuff on TikTok. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. Remember, you can do it.
That's not
All you
hard.
gotta do is try. All you gotta do is try.
That's what she said.